Hey everybody, we're in session 1 of Apocalypse World Dronelands. I don't wonder where he got that title from. And Erik is running us through Apocalypse World, and we are going to be here in session 1 to begin our adventure. If you missed anything in session 0, we created characters there, and we ran through an introductory scenario that brought us all to the art cage. I'm sure that when Erik gets started, he'll give us a little intro on where we currently are. So if you missed that and you want to just start from here, I'm sure it'll be fine. Anything else going? Oh, I should say before I jumped on here, please like and subscribe. Other than that, we got that out of the way. Anything else going on before we get rolling on this game?
Comments too.
Comments too. Yeah, always good to have a comment or two. Yeah, let us know if we fail somewhere epically. That's totally fine. We learn more from comments than anybody. So
usually reply to all of them.
We try to.
One of them.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah. Some of us. There's 6 of us or 7 of us, depending on who happens to be on at the time. So, all right. Well, let's just get rolling here. Not waste any more time. Erik, you are our master of ceremonies. Why don't you take it away?
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and start us off with a recap of what happened in session 0. We created our characters. Fingers is our angel, played by Alan, the healer of the group, a sadistic person who sees healing people as prolonging their suffering and takes great joy in that. We met Who, a child thing, a young woman who scurries through tunnels underneath our settlement of Earthhill. We first saw her in a cave tiled with dead cell phones. We met Miguel, the Savvyhead, the mushroom-growing alchemist of Earthhill. We met Smokey. He grows mushrooms and he knows things. Very strange
That's
things.
my tagline.
We met Smokey, the Maestro D, the owner of an establishment called the Arcage, which supplies drinks and parties and virtual reality fighting, a welcome escape from the drudgeries of post-apocalyptic life. We met Trout, a mysterious hocus, somebody who draws in followers, though they are strange and often buried in their tech. The followers of Trout, which we have sort of dubbed the fish heads, it just works. They are devoted followers of Trout. And then lastly, we met Pierce, a middle-aged man, or appears to be a middle-aged man, who fought drones, defends Earthhill, with chain blades and pistols and high-tech armor. We learned at the start of last session that Pierce actually was born before the apocalypse. I think everyone born before the apocalypse, having had a properly nourished childhood, simply their skin just looks better. It's very strange. You can tell. And how Pierce looks so youthful, at least in fighting shape, after all these years is kind of a mystery.
I was going to say that I believe that we agreed last time that you were changing it from Earthhill to Greenhill.
I think maybe it is Greenhill. Yes,
yeah,
it's getting mixed up in my head.
Yeah, that's just so everyone's on the same page. That the place we are at is Greenhill. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page on that.
One of those things that changes near the end of my DM development cycle, and then I get it mixed up for the rest of the time. But yes, Greenhill is what we landed on. So we're going to do our typical session start move now and highlight stats. So we're going to go through all 6 of you one more time, and you're going to tell me who's the character with the highest history on your stat, and then I will highlight another one of those. So, well, let's just get started with it. So Trout, who is the character with the highest history on your sheet? It looks like it's Smokey.
It'd be Smokey with a 3.
Ooh.
So, Smokey, which stat do you think you want to see Trout use this session? What do you think is cool about Trout? The cool stat, hard stat, hot stat, sharp, weird? Trout is a weird, heavy character.
It's a very weird man.
Well, I feel like maybe he's bringing some heat over here, so maybe we need to highlight cool just so you can utilize that a bit more.
Okay.
And well, I want to see him be hot. I want to see him seduce and manipulate. Because I think there's a lot of tough conversations coming up for Trout.
So then you just highlight
Right.
and just check those check boxes on your sheet.
Yep. And when you roll with that stat, you will click one of the experience boxes under improvements. And that's how you gain experience.
And is it only once per session? So if I had cool highlighted and I use cool, then I get 1 experience for the session, or is it every time I use cool I get
Every time you use cool.
It's whenever you get to use the cool.
nice?
Okay. There we go.
All right. Fingers. The highest hex on your sheet is who. So who? What stat would you like to see Fingers use this session?
Oh. I think we need somebody who's going to be cool under pressure here with the
So you're gonna give me cool.
yeah.
Highlighted cool.
Cool it is. Good luck with that.
I know you're weird. We're
All right.
going to be weird together, but I think we also need some cool.
Even if you don't do good rolling it, you're still rolling it and getting XP, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to start shooting?
To
Shoot first.
see. I want to see you be sharp. I want to see you figure things out.
Nice.
All right.
So I'm highlighting that.
Read a sitch. Read a person.
Pick one, Miguel or Trout.
Since I'm staring at Trout right now, we're going to go with Trout.
All right, Trout. What stat do you want to see who using? They're a weird character with some sharp and cool.
I think because I'm so sick and tired of everybody in my cult relying specifically and only on me, I think I want you to be cool. I want you to
Whatever
be
you
cool.
say, Trout.
You can
Whatever you
handle
say.
yourself. No. This is on your own.
No,
I
it's
just want to see
just what you
who be
said.
weird.
I like it.
Oh, weird. You got weird.
Good idea,
Highlight
Trout.
Who's weird?
Yeah, I agree, Trout. You're the
God.
coolest dude, Trout. Is there anything I do for you, Trout? Anything?
You're not a follower. Are you just miming? Are you just mimicking me?
Am I just mimicking you?
So Miguel's highest Trout. Everybody knows you, Trout. What do you want Miguel's to be?
Yeah, everybody does know me. Okay, Miguel.
You're kind of the guy. You're
Not
the
a follower,
hostess. Not a follower.
I want you to be hot. Get real hot, Miguel, with those mushrooms.
And
We'll
fix
go
the
ahead and mark
fix the wall,
hot.
will you?
You want to get foxy?
Well, it's also manipulation. Yeah. Here, man. Here. First hit's free. First one's always free.
And then what did you pick, Eric, for him?
I will highlight. I'll highlight Miguel's weird.
Right.
Pierce. Person who knows you best is Smokey or who or Trout. Let's say
I just know
Smokey.
everybody.
Why don't you go ahead and highlight one of Pierce's stats?
One of Pierce's stats?
Yeah.
Well, Pierce has got to be cool, obviously. He's the coolest cat in town.
You're just feeding into Mike's ego.
He stands up to
The
motorcycles.
coolest
Like, this is not ending well for
I
any.
think I want to see how hot Pierce can get. I want to
That's
see.
100%.
I want to see what social place Pierce has in a scenario before.
I think we all want to see how hot Pierce can get.
Well, chicks dig
And?
bald heads, right? That's what I'm hoping happens in a few years to me.
Lastly,
Cutting.
the highest hex on Smokey's sheet is Trout. So Trout, go ahead and highlight one of Smokey's stats.
Smokey. I think I want maybe real sharp. I need you to like assist me here. Read some people for me.
It checks.
Honestly, I kind of liked Smokey as the big tough in the last episode, so I'm gonna highlight your hard.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think that's kind of cool.
Cool.
Nice. So we get so that's how we get experience by using the skills that were assigned to us by our companions.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's interesting. I like that.
And you also will get experience if you put somebody's history to +4 on your sheet. It rolls back over to 0, and you gain an experience.
Nice.
So
Then
that's
what happens when we get enough
experience of learning people?
What's the event when you get all your experience? Like, or
And improvements.
When you mark all 5 experience boxes, you will get an improvement. You get to mark one of the improvement boxes and make the change that it says. Once you have made 5 improvements, you can start picking from advanced improvements.
Ooh.
And one of the advanced improvements, weirdly, is retire your character to safety, or create a second character, or change your character to a new type. So advanced improvements are endgame and sort of very strange. The initial improvements are stuff that you would see, but also get a move from another playbook is something I want to consider, because that's really cool for customization. Yeah, we'll see how much experience we get here. So here we are in Greenhill. It is the morning immediately after the raid. But Trout, you arrived here a few months ago, followed by the crowd who follows you around and depends upon you and treats you like a god. You've been working on the arcade for a few months, and your followers will not leave you. They adore you. And so I want you to give me a fortunes roll from your character sheet to determine how things are going for your followers. They've come to be known in this city as the Fishheads, although I'm sure if you ask them to change their name, they'll be called whatever you want.
Okay.
But go ahead and click the fortune button. There's a little roll under your followers to determine whether you're in surplus or in want.
Where is it? Followers.
There must be a special thing on his.
Yes, yeah, he has a +1 to this roll because of the choices he made when he designed his group.
Yes.
But he rolled really quite poorly.
You rolled a 1 and a 2. This is par for our group.
No.
I think every roll we've made on this game since session 0 had a 1 and a
Bad.
Except for the bad one.
The harm one we rolled high on.
Yeah, the bad one that I wanted to roll low on. No, I got fucking 11.
+1.
Yeah,
You got a 12.
yeah. You missed that Zach, the only thing you want to roll low on is the move you make when taking harm. But you're not taking harm right now. It's just been a tough few weeks for your followers. They haven't been able to get a lot of money. They haven't been able to recruit as many followers as they would have liked. So when your followers are in want, they are desperate.
Oh God.
So Trout, your followers are in want. It's been a tough few weeks for them, but rather than move on, your dedicated followers are just going to become desperate and come to you with all their needs. Right now, they're putting up quite a big tab for liquor at the arcade, and they're out of script to barter with.
Trout, I want to go to town and get a new motivator.
God, you people.
So
Can't you do anything by yourselves? For the love of God.
that's where the fish heads are at. They're not partying nearly as much. But this
I'm just
morning,
picturing a fish head like doing like bubbles, like like sitting around bored, looking at you.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do. So we will begin following Pierce and Miguel and Fingers, who are following Noah and Charles and Lightbulb Larry to the door of the arcade. Charles has just kicked the door in, asking for Trout. Noah follows in, looking a little more sheepish, and Lightbulb Larry sticks close on their heels. What do the three of you do? Do you follow them in?
I'd follow them in and quickly find Smokey.
I followed him.
Okay.
Jesus, Pierce, where have you been? You look like shit.
Yeah, we got hit. And they hit hard.
Pierce, you see that Smokey also has a stab wound in his shoulder. It's bleeding a little.
Yeah, you don't look much better.
Does that hurt?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Fingers, you bastard.
Pierce, as you walk through the door, actually, the gate guard, he's armed with a rifle. He's leaning casually up against the door. He actually puts a hand on your shoulder as you walk by. You know this man. He's one of the guards at Greenhill here. His name is Rusty. And he puts his hand on your shoulder real quick and he goes, "Hey, buddy, I gotta guard the door, but it's a tough situation in there. Those fish heads are not happy. And, well, people think they're the ones who messed up the wire. They're the ones behind it."
You ever seen a fish head on a motorcycle?
Rusty thinks about it for a second, like he's thinking honestly, and goes, "No.
Yeah, they're all on motorcycles. Wasn't the fish heads.
Well, I believe you, buddy, but all the same, people are mighty mad, so be careful in there." And he
Thanks for the
goes
heads
back
up.
to takes up his pose. Yeah, you walk in. Trout. The situation this morning is, I don't know what it is you're doing this morning, but somebody comes running up to you. One of your followers goes, Trout, yeah, they're trying to fight us in there, man. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stand up for us? You're gonna tell them to leave us alone?
He pulls his glasses down, his sunglasses, and inside, obviously. What's going on now? Is somebody who wants to fight you? You want me to stop them?
Yeah. The one of the resident ladies, I think her name was Emma. She just came up and stabbed one of our guys. Well, she tried to, anyways. If Smokey didn't get in the way, he would have got us for sure.
Smokey got stabbed instead of one of our guys?
Yeah, he got between her and gave her a drink and everything. He sat her down and well, our guys are real scared, man. They think they're gonna try to fight us.
I get up and I grab his face and push him aside, and I start making my way.
Please, you gotta
I'll
tell him
take care of
something.
it, as I always do.
They'll believe you.
And I start making my way over to Smokey. And
Thank you, Trout. Oh, thank you. You're the greatest.
Don't thank me. Just get some money. Get money. Get more people in here.
He turns out his pockets. I ain't got no barter. All we got is you, Trout.
Oh, God damn. Just get on the street, start working. Come on.
Okay. So, Trout, what do? You're working in the VIP section, a little office built as a second floor to the arcade. What do you do?
I want to go out and find this woman initially and just be like, "Listen, I don't know what you think my fault these fish heads are doing, but they don't do nothing unless I say it. I didn't tell them to do nothing to you. I don't know why you're trying to stab everyone."
All right, so Trout, you walk into the crowded area. I don't know if you've seen the arcade hasty sketch. Don't worry about it. sort of a boxing ring is set up in the middle. You've done a lot of the wiring to make this VR system a possibility, and most of the time people congregate around here. And right now, on one side of the room, your fish heads have congregated and are muttering to each other, and they're being avoided by the residents who group on the other side. At the edge of the building, in a little salvaged booth, you see Emma. She's a small girl, pale, sweaty with panic, as she sips a cocktail at 9 in the morning or whatever it is. And
she has
as you
no
come
expense
down,
in how idea that cocktail actually is.
as you come down, the rest of them hear you calling that these guys don't do what you tell them to, and they've got nothing to do with this. So yeah, the rest of you see Trout come down. He is elusive, but he seems like he's here to talk. What do the rest of you do?
Oh, so Smokey's here as well, right?
Yes.
Smokey, you feel a little tug on your coat to your side.
I'll look down.
Hi.
Oh, hello, child.
Just pop up.
She's got some old, looks like segments of Ethernet cable and other like coax and weird stuff. And she said, "Are you using this?" It's like, cut
Oh,
off.
yes. You can bring that to the fish heads.
You still need it?
Did you get that from the fish heads? Where did you
No.
get these cords?
No, found it. It was in the wall.
Yes, we need some of the cables in the walls.
Well, I
Please
didn't take
tell
it
me.
off nothing. I didn't take it off nothing that was running. It was just the extra. Look at, see, and it's
There's
just like you can
extra?
see it's like splayed and cut and everything. It's just like one foot segments of
Bits.
like bits and pieces and stuff.
Electrician garbage, yeah.
Some dude's pissed because Pac-Man's not working.
No, she didn't
I
disassemble it.
beckon
but
over-
You can check.
I beckon over a fish head to come and grab that from you.
The fish head looks at you,
Hey,
and one of the guys comes over and goes, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Looks like who here found some material for you. I lean in close to him. Why don't you make sure it didn't come off of any important components?
when you look back at her, she's already got she's like chewing, and she's got like some of it in her hand, and she's holding it out to you
Yeah.
guys, but like it's slightly less now. She's like literally eating one of the Ethernet wires.
Oh, God.
I don't think he does. I think he goes, that looks like, geez, that looks like the same data cable that, she looks like she's eating it.
Oh, it could be moldy.
Just make
Yeah, we
sure
don't-
it doesn't break anything. We have a fight tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, are we still gonna have that with the wire down?
The people need something to focus on.
Oh, well, I really hope the fight still happens.
Me too.
So you see the rest of you, you're in sort of some neutral ground between what looks like a lunchroom fight brewing. You see some of the fish heads at one side of the room go, "Yeah, are we gonna let him get away with this?" One of them gets really hyped up, and his buddies push him down. Whoa, no, calm down.
So
Likewise, you see some of the residents sort of getting a little twitchy with weapons on their belts.
So Pierce will walk like into the space like in between the two, and
Pierce
gonna-
makes himself known.
he's the chain blade just slowly snakes out behind him as he's walking forward. In his hand, he's just got the pistol in the other hand, just out. Everybody, calm down now.
Who also appears by the fish heads.
Interesting.
She's kind of peeking around one of them, looking at you.
Why don't you, Pierce? Why don't you roll me a seduce or manipulate someone?
I guess he's
That's you're going to roll. You're going to roll plus hot. When you try to seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie, tell them what you want them to do, calm down, and give them a reason, which to me says, you're here, you're dangerous, calm down. That's the reason.
So how does
So go ahead.
how does help interference work?
Well, if somebody wants to help you or interfere with you, they will roll. Like, for example, if who wants to help, which I think I heard you say, Nate.
Yeah, I would actually.
If you wanted to help somehow, you would tell me how you're able to help. If it's something you're able to do, you would roll your history with Pierce, which right now is -1.
Yeah. But I also don't want to see them
Pierce
fighting
very well.
I don't want to see them fight. I want to see everybody stay cool, man. Everybody stay cool. You know, I'll tug on the people in the front, and be like, just stay cool. It's all right.
You're a strange sight. You're not the most reassuring figure. So if you want to help or interfere, go ahead. However,
I would also like to help, but my way of helping is I look at Pierce like, hey, you don't fucking tell them what to do. Only I tell them what to do. Now, guys, calm down.
All right. So let's talk about the help or interfere roll.
Guys, listen to Pierce.
Help, you roll plus history. You can give them a +2 or a -2 to their roll if you're successful, or a +1 or -1 if you get a mixed success. It says on a miss, be prepared for worse. For the worst. What this means on my end is it opens you up to the consequences of failing the action as well, which very likely would be a fight. You might be in the middle of this.
Throwing hands.
All right, Pierce, I would call that a seduce and manipulate.
Yeah.
And I think we have a couple of characters who want to
Seduce and
help with
manipulate.
that. So the seduce and manipulate rule is made when you want to want somebody to do something. In this case, the two groups of people, you want them to calm down and give them a reason. The reason is you are there and you are scary. And you have a chain blade ready to go. So,
I got it.
all right.
So can I help? Since I'm standing by all of the fish heads, and you said it's sort of two parties. Can I? I know Trout, and I know the fish heads. I'm one of them, right? So I'm trying to calm them down.
Oh yeah, you
all
are.
right. Just leave it, and like tugging their legs, like come on.
Well, it's a two-party system. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but you said I'd be rolling to help Pierce, which I have a -1, but I'm also thinking that it's sort of Trout's side of it too, which I have a +1 for.
Yeah, and that's why. I gotta succeed partially on trying to help.
Okay, and you were trying to.
I was trying to.
Saying again?
I ran in and I was like, "Hey, you don't tell them what to do. Only I tell them what to do. But do what he says."
So can I roll my help or my history with?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a help or hinder.
So
I wonder if more than one person can help. I think so.
Oh,
Nate!
Well, you're in the.
Everybody's got a 1.
Well, be prepared for the worst. But Trout, you coming out does help. So,
Be prepared for
Pierce,
the worst.
why don't you go ahead and roll me a plus hot for seduce or manipulate, and we'll add +1.
+1. Got it.
What'd you get? Ooh,
A success.
Nice.
and you got to roll a 6 on one of those. Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, so he's just basically making eye contact with every single person in the thing, just staring him down.
Huh. You, Pierce, you stare across the residents and Trout's followers assembled here, and you see everyone who was reaching for a weapon sort of shrink at your gaze. They know you, they know what you're capable of, and you are obviously here to do business. So yeah, they sit down, they shrink back, they be quiet. And in that silence, Charles, one of the elders, the one who kicked in the door, he sees you come out, Trout, and says, "You don't tell them what to do." Well, then maybe they are the ones behind this attack then? What do you have to say for them then?
I look at Charles, I'm like, listen, none of these idiots could do anything that wasn't under my purview. And they wouldn't either. Isn't that right, guys?
I heard some weird guys rolling up with machines in my cave.
I would.
And
You're
that?
here too.
they had motorcycles. They were making a bunch of noise. We don't have that. It's not us. We didn't do that. They came after me too.
You think any of these guys can ride a motorcycle? Look at them.
Charles looks to Yoo-Hoo and goes, "What? You're here too? You're everywhere. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment with the cult leader here."
No,
he turns
you
to
quiet.
you, Trout. He goes, "You are not a resident of Greenhill. You just keep finding your way in. Now be silent, little thing, or I will have my man here," pointing at Pierce, "remove you."
Who is this saying? This is Charles?
So-
This is Charles. He's mad at Trout.
So
Another fish head?
I'll turn and step in front of who, but with my back to her, facing the dude, going, "Excuse me."
Pierce, you know damn well she doesn't live here.
I think I'll look at
she's
who
not-
and be like, "Hey, who?" And snap, be like, "Come here, get over here."
Oh yeah, you wanted me to come over? I will absolutely come over to you. What do you need? What do you need?
She is harmless.
See what I'm saying?
She's just
They-
like squatting down, like by you, almost like a little dog, just like squatting, just sitting there, still chewing on wires.
Charles goes, "See, we should count her amongst your people. Larry here, I'll just cut to the chase then. Larry here tells us that somebody sabotaged the electrical system to the wire." You see Lightbulb Larry, a hunched man with very delicate hands. He's the only one who can make light bulbs that you know of, so he's a very valued member of the community. He says, "That's right, Charles. I saw on the lights today that multiple sections of the buried wire were gone. Multiple sections, the hidden ones. Somebody with intimate knowledge of the wires must have tipped off the raiders."
I look over at who happens to have a bunch of wires in her hand.
They are not in her hand anymore after hearing that story.
And I this is what I slowly take a step back to get out of the way of the murder that's about to happen.
She does not have invisible in her hand. As soon as that description was happening, she's just like,
I'm just picturing she's like,
yep. It's back. It's hidden in one of her pockets.
And Charles says, "So I've come down here to find you with your rat's nest of cables and your weird, nerdy followers. To see which one of you was behind this, because I know you people have something to do with this."
I Trout like shakily like slinks up to him and takes his glasses off and looks him like deep in the eyes. You're like, "And did you see one of my fish heads do this to make this accusation towards my followers?"
Ooh, are you
Roll
going?
me hey, why don't you go ahead and roll me a read a person as you get up in this guy's face. He tries to keep it cool as the leader, but as you get up in his face.
Real bad at that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Partial success on a read a person. So On a 7 to 9, hold 1. While you're interacting with them, spend your hold to ask me questions. Is this character telling the truth? What are they really feeling? What do they intend to do? What do they wish I'd do? And how could I get you to blank? So you can ask one of those questions during this interaction. You can see them under basic moves.
I think I want to know, like, what is this person's intentions? Like, he clearly doesn't like us, but, like, I don't know if he has a lot of evidence. What is this person intending to do here? What is he trying to get done?
Okay. He intends to find a scapegoat. Maybe a scapegoat, maybe the culprit. He intends to find some way to focus this anger against whatever attack happened. He wants to focus his people on something to blame.
Besides himself.
It was the immigrants.
And you know that he does not like you or your guys. This town has a gate for its main residents. You are not one of those main residents, and he views you as a dangerous outsider.
They're eating the wires. They're eating the plugs.
But he
that's too
as you
good,
get up
Alan.
in his face, you say, "Did you see him do anything? Did you see my guys do anything?" And Charles goes, "No, but someone with knowledge of wires, like you and your little gearheads, somebody had, it wasn't just an uncoordinated attack. And you and your people are suspect number 1. And so if you don't want me to... Lightbulb Larry built the wire.
Sounds like he'd have
he turns and looks at Larry,
knowledge.
who ducks away. Lightbulb Larry, look at... he says, I will not have anybody talking poorly about Larry here. Without him, none of this would be possible. Your little arcade, all of your lights. Without him, none of this is possible. It couldn't have been him.
I want to, since I'm standing here putting all this back and forth, and I've got a pretty solid connection to the psychic maelstrom in general as a child thing. Yeah. Who thinks it's a good idea to try to reach out and see if she can figure out who did this, or maybe like if it was anybody in the room, you know what I mean? And she thinks that maybe she can pick that out of the maelstrom that exists out there. So
do you want to?
Right now? Yeah.
That sounds like you would like to just simply open your brain.
I would. I'd like to open my brain to the world's psychic maelstrom.
Oh,
all right.
As I'm literally standing next to
roll plus weird.
Standing right next to my guy Trout. Is that all right?
Okay.
I here comes the ones. I can't wait.
You can open your brain if you would like.
What is you opening your brain like? Do you like whip out a smartphone and you start looking stuff up? What?
I would say in this universe, if you whipped out a smartphone, you would be it would be like opening a bomb vest.
Maybe she has a flip top head.
You know.
No, she just sort of rolls her eyes back into her head and sits down in sort of almost like a kneeling position.
You are familiar.
Sits on her heels and just her
you start levitating?
head snaps back and her eyes roll back into her head and you can see the whites of her eyes.
Does that song start? They're running up that hill.
So
I cover her up with my duster, just kind of like hide her, knowing what she's doing.
Go ahead and roll me plus weird.
Yeah, I'm not rolling great.
You rolled another 1. Every time you roll a dice, it's one of them's a 1.
2s this time. 2, 2, 2.
It's 2-2.
Oof. Yeah, I got to get better dice.
2, 2, 2.
Who set up this app? I'm gonna have a word with them.
Okay,
Damn,
on a
you
mess.
rolled 20.
Who you are familiar with the whispers beyond human perception. You live in a cave full of dead black mirrors that whisper to you. And you go to listen to those whispers for some insight to this sort of tense situation.
Mm-hmm.
and instead you hear those same whispers from far away, and then you hear a beeping, like a Morse code, that becomes louder and louder and multiple beeps until you're finally able to wrest your brain away from it. I'm going to say you take -1 to the next time you try to open your brain as your ears ring from this. You heard some kind of signals coming closer before you cringe and twist away from the pain.
She grabs slaps her ears over her hands over her ears and says, "Now make it stop, beeps, beep, beep." She like mimicking the beep, 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 beep. And she'll actually
You are 43rd in the queue. Your call is important to us.
lay down in front of Trout. Just
Like, knock it off. Knock it off, who?
make it stop.
Knock it off.
Make it stop.
It stopped.
Do you want to figure out what's wrong with who?
I don't care. I'm just like, it stops.
I will read her situation. I want to find out if she's actually endangering us, or is it just endangering herself, and perhaps if it might just hurt a little bit.
Charles looks at this and goes, "Maybe when I kick you out, you can take her with you when you leave." And Noah, his Colmer brother, takes him by the shoulder and goes, "Look, clearly we're all in danger here. You don't need to be so hard on them. We're under threat from the outside." He pulls his brother aside. Yeah, Angel, Fingers, would you like to? I wonder if that would be a read a sitch or a read a person. Let me take a look at the questions in both of those. I would say since this interaction, it's more medical than social. You're not really reading who as a person, you're more reading them as a patient. So I would say go ahead and roll me plus sharp for a read a sitch.
All right, I will roll you plus sharp for a read a sitch.
Ooh,
I rolled really well.
12.
There you go.
And it's a highlighted stat. Ching. So does that mean I get some experience?
Heck yeah. Go ahead. Mark one of the experience boxes. Yeah.
Boom.
Do you only get that if you got a success on your stat roll? Because I definitely rolled a weird a minute ago.
No.
Anytime you roll.
I got my
fail,
hot
if
too.
you succeed, it doesn't matter as long as you use it.
Experience, then.
Sure. These guys are just followers. I do something cool and they all want to follow me. I feel like I'm almost like
forgot about that.
another Trout. Trout 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Oh boy. I don't think you could get in a weird off with Trout.
I think I got you.
I don't want to be in a weird off with anybody.
That would be an interesting clash. But no, you succeed on reading a situation. So you're with Trout and Who here. You're trying to figure out what's going on with Who. So go ahead and ask me 3 of these questions. What's my best escape route? Way in or way past? What's most vulnerable? What's the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What is my enemy's true position? And who is in control here?
All right. First of all, we have a Pierce. We have a Trout. We have these 2 brothers, Noah, who I believe is the more aggressive one, right?
Charles is
Charles is more aggressive.
Noah's
We have
trying to
Charles
cool him
here.
off.
They also are sitting in the arcade. There's a whole bunch of actions going on here. For between all of these situations, who's in control here?
Who is in control here? Well, frankly, right now, Smokey is in control.
Nice. I got 2 more questions. Which of these people who are all out here are the most valuable to me?
Which
We have Trout and his minions. We have the citizens, right? And then we have Pierce standing in between here with Smokey.
Smokey's behind the bar cleaning a glass, watching this go down.
Are you asking which enemy is the most vulnerable?
Is it vulnerable? I misread that as valuable. Okay, yeah, I'll take it back. So my question is, which of these enemies, these people here, are most vulnerable to me? Which one of these people do I think are easiest for me to kind of intercede with?
The citizens. I think the most vulnerable to you might be the citizens. They know you better, and you have personally patched up several of them. Just this week, even.
And my last question is, I think I'm going to go with
the middle.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask a difficult question for you because I like to just cause you strife. What should I be on the lookout for?
Well, you should be on the lookout for whatever just caused that new noise that who was hearing.
The beeping.
But I didn't hear that noise, right? Only she heard it?
No, but you should be on the lookout for whatever just caused her.
Whatever just freaked her out.
Right.
Okay, cool. It seems urgent.
It's getting closer.
So I will follow up by leaning over and I'll kind of calmly try to reach out my hand to touch Who's shoulder as she's kind of curled up and touch her. And
I need your hands on me.
I look down. I go, hey, are you doing all right?
Me?
And Who? Yeah, your brain hurts. In a way that's difficult to explain. You're just getting reacquainted with hearing properly.
Yeah, she's just kind of somewhat fetal position, laying at the feet of Trout, and is looking at you. And she acknowledges that you touched her, but she's sort of responding lyrically and not really answering your questions.
Okay, as I look down at you, as you look up at me, I look at everybody. I'm like, she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Put my mind at ease.
All right.
Where are those cables?
All right.
Are they on the ground?
They're not visible.
Okay.
Right now.
Who stashed those cables? You can put those in your inventory if you'd like.
I'm not digging for that.
That's probably the right move.
Get the mousetrap.
Miguel, you've seen this these exchanges go down. You saw Who do something weird and something backlashed against her. And you see that these two groups of people, Trout's followers and the citizens of Greenhill, have settled down a little bit. They're not looking to start a fight just at the moment, but everybody seems a little quieter, and you see Who is sort of recovering from some sort of psychic shock. Do you observe these proceedings, or what do you do?
Somewhat peripherally, I would sidle up to Late Bulb Larry and tell him the wire is down. We're vulnerable. And until we get it back up again, we're going to stay vulnerable. We have to go out and assess the damage and see if we can fix it.
Larry goes, someone has to go out there, but I am too bent. I must get back to my command center, look at the lights, make sure that everything else is functioning correctly.
Okay, well, then I can go out and check the wire then. See if we can get it back up and running.
The wires! Defense!
He grabs you by the arm and sort of pulls you down closer to him and goes, but be wary. I sense strange murmurs in the wire. Something is near.
Oh, I've got some mind sharpening tinctures that I think will help me. I'll have to go back and get my tools.
And all right. At this moment, once as it's a little quieter, Noah and Charles had a hushed, whispered conversation. Charles comes back and goes, okay, all right. Well, you listen here, Trout. If it wasn't your guys, then I want to know who it was that sabotaged our defenses and left us wide open to the drones. And if you can help me, prove it wasn't you, then Noah tells me to let you stay. But you thank my brother for that, right?
Smokey's going to step in here. He's going to step in front and he's going to say, "Gentlemen, I believe this conversation has gone far enough, and this is not the appropriate venue. You are disturbing my patrons. Why don't we take this elsewhere, somewhere more private?"
I think Noah says, "Look, please, Charles." And Charles goes, "Look, okay, we have to figure out what's going on here. And clearly it's not happening here. We're going to go speak with Helena, see if she's heard anything this morning. Whatever you do here, just don't make it worse." And Noah says, "I'll calm him down." He says to you, Smokey, "Look, I'll calm him down. We need you here. Our people need the arcade. Charlie can't see that."
It's quite clear to me.
And he follows his brother out. And unless somebody wants to grab them, they leave. They're heading north to investigate another of the establishments in town. Polina's mess hall is where the elder Polina makes the best soup known to humankind. Whether there's a better soup maker out there, we don't know. She's just the last surviving one in Greenhill. She operates further to the north in the gated area of Greenhill where the residents live. Lightbulb Larry retreats to his workshop. While you are all in there, Pierce, you see Rusty again, the gate guard, and he goes, "Hey, if you guys aren't killing each other in there, you might want to come see this." And you see him pointing out the front door.
Y'all scramble.
They've lit fires by the wire.
All right, I look over to
great.
Smoke.
Smokey will nod and
All right, I'll
send
go
you out
take
the
a look.
door.
I'll go follow behind in case something is launched into or explodes near or is injected from Pierce.
I'll turn to Who and I'll be like, go with them and let me know what's happening. I'll be over here. And I go and sit down in the dark because I'm very tired.
I hate when you leave me unattended. She runs out the door.
Another one of your followers, I guess. This little one. All right, just a moment.
Looks like
So those of you who step outside, you see in the distance to the northeast, near the edge of town, there's farms out there. It's where you grow what you can. But you see smoke from 3 large fires. Looks like they were lit just recently. You see Rusty the gate guard points that way and goes, he points it out to you, Pierce, and goes, "Hey buddy, I think that's the busted part of the wire. I'll hold down here if you guys want to go check it out."
Yeah, I think Miguel's getting tools.
But I'll be heading out that way.
So I'll wait for Miguel and then escort him to the trouble spot.
And I'll run back inside and tell Trout, "There's a fire! Fire! It's on fire! We should go. We gotta go stop the fire. We need that gate. That wire needs to be there. Fire. No fire. Yes, wire."
But we didn't start the.
No, you're right. It does require my presence. I'll get up, start heading out.
I'll be humming "We Didn't Start the
Very
Fire"
dark.
because nobody knows the words to that song.
Not anymore. They were lost to time.
Oh, I do put my sunglasses back on.
Damn you, Billy Joel!
All right.
I don't think he's dead.
Well, I suppose we all
been 50
go
years.
to Miguel's mycology to retrieve Miguel's tools. You've got a lot of stuff in your workspace. Is there anything in particular you retrieve, Miguel?
Some cutters, and see if I have any spare wire just sort of lying around.
Yeah, you've got some. Not enough to do any substantive like replacement, but you might be able to fiddle with it. Okay, all right. Well,
And I'll grab some a few vials of tinctures and put them in my coat pocket. And then
cool. Who knows when you need a little bit of mushroom?
a little bit of
tincture.
mind sharpening.
All right, cool. Well, so before we are all on our way to that side of town, is there anything anybody else would like to do? And I'll have you know that your group of people would follow you wherever if
just
you
do
ask.
a little like, oh, let's go, guys. We're out.
You gonna travel with your pack?
Oh yeah. Everybody single file.
Get a fodder.
I'm thinking of a scene like from The Outsiders where they're all traveling through the.
Just a few colleagues to make his visit more comfortable.
You see the group of people goes, but we were hoping for some breakfast, boss.
We'll get breakfast when we get back. We got stuff to do. We got to clear our name. Apparently, they think you guys did this. I know you're too stupid to do it, but
No, we didn't, boss. We wouldn't do anything of the sort.
I know you didn't do it. Like I said, you couldn't do anything without me. Remember that always.
Oh, you're right, boss. Of course, you're right, boss. We'll go with you, boss. So the fish heads follow you. They are a small gang.
So smart.
What is that? What does that stack up to?
It was like 12 people or something.
Yeah, like 10 to 25 people.
Yeah.
A dozen or so dudes following you. Okay.
Almost too close.
Yeah,
that
you
when
bring
you
your
stop,
guys.
they all hit each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're hanging on me basically.
Yeah, who's not far behind? She's
Okay.
hanging with your group too.
All right. Well, you all approach the source of the fires here, up in the northwest. We'll just go ahead and scooch you all over here. You see, yes, the farm fields that feed this place. And then you see dark smoke coming from three sort of equally spaced fires. And you hear the sound of a shotgun going off. You hear a couple of
Big kabooms.
couple of shots. Sounds like somebody's shooting out that way. Doesn't sound like it's at you. You would know.
I'm gonna Misty Step then Fireball.
But
I want to have my cult circle around me as a shield meat wall in case somebody fires at me.
okay.
And
So
we
they circle around me.
Shout all your group. Give me dexterity saves. Everyone takes 28 fire damage.
I am not getting into the line of meat fodder right there. I'll stay near you though, but I'll be outside the ring. I
No,
guess.
who you're at my side. You're at my side.
That's your
Inside
burning
the
ring of
ring.
fire. I fell in.
She's sort of like
Yep.
looks up at you
They're
like,
gonna be.
really,
Okay.
really, exactly where I want me. Oh,
I tussle your hair.
ah.
Aw.
All right. As you
She just
all
leans into you like little.
do
too
you
creepy.
continue to approach? You heard shotguns. It sounds like something's going down.
I stand behind
somebody's,
yours.
shooting. So
As you see me just like as Pierce is standing around,
that
it's
seems up your alley.
Yeah, well, stride forward to find out what's going on.
yeah. Make sure you look. You make sure you threaten him first.
As you walk forward towards the sound, a villager at a dead sprint bumps past you carrying a big sack. It looks heavy, and they bump into you, and just a flash of sparkly dust comes out of the top of that thing as he goes, and he's running.
We're gonna stop him.
Pierce, you know this to be sparkle smoke. This is a powdered metal, commonly used. They've found that if you put it into a fire, it explodes in such a way that it spoofs bot communications. You've found this to be one of the only effective ways to fight back against the bite bots. And as you come up on the fires, you find it manned by a handful of farmers with shotguns and bags of this sparkle smoke. And you see them fighting what look like clouds, mosquito swarms. These are the bite bots. And they have wandered in.
Oh no.
What do? You see them firing at the swarms with shotguns. You see others throwing fistfuls of this powder into the fires to make the smoke sparkle. There's some copper in there. There's bits of aluminum. And you see that whenever these clouds are struck by this sparkling smoke, they're driven back a little bit, but it's all the farmers can do to hold the line right now.
I think I see this as an opportunity to have the fish heads gain even more clout, and I send half of the fish heads to go try and put out the fires, and half of the other fish heads to start fighting these guys.
These fires are like braziers. You see them using the fires to ignite this sparkle smoke. These farmers have lit these as part of their defenses.
I essentially I put my hands out and go save these people. And I tell all my followers to go in and just take out do as much damage to these the bite bots as they can.
Sure. All right. They are not 100% sure how they're going to help, but
there's sparkle
they
smoke.
can try.
You can throw sparkle.
I just need them to. We just need the civilians to see. Wow, these fish heads, they're really good for the town.
Since I'm part of that group,
you see the farmers go, back off, fish head. My sparkle smoke, stay back.
Can I lay a trap for some of these? You said the swarms kind of keep coming in and then getting drawn back and stuff. I want to, since I'm part of his minions here, I'm gonna grab some sparkle smoke and I'm gonna take a strip of fabric off of my rather tattered outfit here, and basically trying to roll it all up into make almost like a sparkle smoke grenade. And what I want to do is I want to.
You don't have any of this stuff yet.
Well, I was running.
The farmers do.
Oh, fair. I guess I'm running over.
The guy ran past you. He's carrying a shipment of this stuff to the farmers who are using it.
All right. Well, this is a plan in her head then, is to go help them out. Do you want us to confront the farmers first and ask to help?
I mean, I guess that's up to you. They've got basically a big sack of this stuff each, and they're sort of taking it and chucking it.
Got it. Yeah. So
okay.
I guess
I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go over and be like, "Hey, no, let my guys figure this out for you. You guys are working too hard." I'll just maybe try to do a manipulate and try to make them be like, "No, of course we're gonna let them."
Yeah, he goes
take over and help.
He goes, "What's an outsider doing here? Back off! This is my sparkle smoke, and that's my house back there."
Yeah, we'll help you out. We'll defend you. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I guess it kind of hinges on how tough your dudes look. So why don't you go ahead and roll me a seduce or manipulate?
All right.
Come on, big money.
Come on.
not horrible.
Partial success.
There we go.
Partial success. They'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. This guy says, well, these guys are no joke. Are you guys, these bugs are no joke. Are you guys tough?
Are you kidding me? Look at them. They're the fish heads. They're the toughest guys in the town. You know that. You heard about the fish heads.
You guys look scared.
No, they're not scared at all. Right, guys? And I stare at them like,
I'm not scared,
right?
I'm not scared at all.
I'm trying to see it.
Walk forward too.
Frankly, these guys aren't the toughest in the world.
No, they're not.
And also, they're waning or whatever. They're wanting.
Can I help them with this?
They're desperate right now.
They're
you know?
desperate, yeah.
Can I aid here?
Yeah, they're desperate. They need this.
Sure.
Like I have an idea, guys. We can make sparkle smoke bombs, and then she starts to describe her idea for luring these clouds in a little bit and then blowing them up from the inside, and it should kill a lot of them at once. That's my idea. So you want me to roll for trout?
Yeah, go ahead and roll help or hinder.
7. That's partial
success. That gives it a bonus for a 1.
That's my first success.
And with a 1, that pushes it to a 12. That pushes it to a 10, which is a success. So they go, well, that's pretty handy there. We just had like slingshots for this stuff. All right, well, that and the shells, but we didn't have time to load enough of them. All right, yeah, sure, that might work.
I look down at who I'm like, way to go, kid. Way to go.
Yeah.
And he
Me?
He takes a big scoop of the stuff for himself and pushes the bag of this metallic powder towards you and goes, if you can get him if you can drive him away with this, then go for it.
Right.
And you get a big bag of sparkle smoke.
Nice.
You got to ignite it somehow and throw it. And
remember, this was the fish heads. This was the fish heads that came to your rescue.
So she's gonna try to set a trap,
all right,
basically, with this with a bundle of this stuff. Okay. So I think this might be a little bit tough, but basically I'm gonna be the bait, right? Baiting a trap, and I think it's a roll cool from what I've seen. But basically, what she's doing is she's building up a little smoke grenade, sparkle dust grenade bomb thing, and using starting like a strip of fabric on fire, so that she can kind of time it right, and then she'll be like sort of the bait, right? Because they're kind of coming for us all. And then when they get nearby, hopefully the timing will be right. She can throw the thing up right at the last second.
Pierce is going to help. He basically goes, toss it up, and he pulls out his gun. I'll shoot it.
All right, so we just have to time it right.
So, okay. You are the bait. So you move forward to try to get the attention of these nanite swarms.
Yes.
What are you wearing?
Basically looks like rags. She's got like a tank top.
Yeah, you're wearing
on.
Rags.
Yeah, she's got a tank top on. She's got some like straps of fabric that hang off of it and are sort of like, covering up like her midsection a little bit, but pretty shortly. You can see most of her legs still. So yeah, she just takes one of those strips of fabric off of there and makes a little bomb out of it. Ties it into a little bundle.
Okay. So you try to move forward.
Yes.
Do you stay outside of the swarm, or do you try to move into it?
I'm not going to literally move into it because
dangerous. But
yeah, they're. I mean, I know they're dangerous. I know I'm in the bait here, but they're. You said they were kind of going away, and then as we drove them back, and then they'd start coming in again, right? So she'll kind of get up.
They're approaching this way.
Yeah, she'll get in front of people, but she's not going to walk all the way out into the woods. So
sure, all right.
In front of everybody else, maybe in front of the line of fire, the line of the braziers.
Sure, yeah. You move up where the guy has stopped throwing sparkle smoke through that brazier, and you prepare yourself a little package of this stuff. The rest of you hold off for a moment to allow those nanites to creep closer, and who they are just about on top of you. So let's go ahead and make this a. I think you're the bait is a pretty good move. So yeah, you are rolling plus cool, and
are you helping
Pierce
me?
would like to help you.
Okay.
Let's see how that help or interfere goes. Pierce, you're getting ready to skeet shoot this bag of stuff.
What do you roll to help?
Roll my hex, my history,
On me.
which I have
Ajax,
3
yeah.
on.
His who hex. Oh,
All right.
it's a good help.
Okay.
Is
So
that
we're going to add a
It's
plus
a plus
2.
two.
And I did check it. I think you can only get 1 help or hinder per turn per
fine.
move. So we'll leave it at that. The low number system falls apart if you.
You roll a 12?
Yes.
All right.
Which cranks it.
That is a success on the subterfuge move when
That's
you're
14.
the bait. So
I think it's already in there.
Yeah, I think I added
choose
the
2. So who you lay low, you get low for this swarm to go over you. You find they aren't immediately drawn to you. You're not wearing a lot of metal or other recyclable materials.
Plus, her
that they go
personality's
for.
not that great.
It's a little off-putting. Choose 2 from these options. You draw your prey all the way into the trap. Otherwise, they only approach. Your prey doesn't suspect you. Otherwise, they're wary and alert. Or you don't expose yourself to extra risk. Otherwise, any harm your prey inflicts is plus 1 because you're in the trap.
So I get to choose 2 of them. I like that. I'm going to do the first one and draw the prey all the way into the trap because this is going to be a successful trap. And then the third one to reduce my own harm. It seems like a smart one.
Okay.
They can suspect me all day long if they want to. Coming for you. Somewhere in the middle.
So they are wary and alert.
Which personally, I don't think
right.
it made make much of a difference with these guys. They were kind of already attacking us, but we'll see. Maybe they are. More so. Okay, but yeah, there you go.
Well, it rolls over you. The cloud rolls over you, and at the right moment, you throw the bag of sparkle smoke into the air.
Pierce shoots it.
Well, gosh, that shot seems like... That help and interfere. Yes, that shot would have been part of your help and interfere, so I can't mess with that any longer. So yeah, you detonate this thing. It sparkles like crazy. The light is a lot. Who you hear a ringing in your ears. Get quiet for just a second, and then the ringing returns. There was a small gap in the signal there. But yeah, you destroy one of those clouds. The rest of them continue to move inwards.
That worked. She'll run back to the safety. That worked. Keep it up, fish heads.
However,
do they
you
attack?
now have these things slowly moving towards you.
I see.
This other group moves to nearly engulf you. You are still sort of sitting in your trap. What do you do? Who?
Oh. Well, I'm going to try to run back and basically refill at this point. That's the goal. Hoping that everyone else can continue to, to try to fight them off with the way they had been doing it. But
yeah, the rest of the farmers continue to try to push them back. If you are able to destroy a few more of the clouds, you might be able to push them back. But in fact, let's go ahead and make this a. Let's go ahead and make this a clock. We are kind of doing battle. I'm not treating these as individuals. More of a event, like an affliction. Technically, they're an affliction threat as opposed to an individual brute, but you don't need to worry about that.
I'm worried about it.
I'm gonna put something on the token layer here. I'm going to put
right,
the
we see it.
infestation of the bitebot swarms.
They're at 9 right now, though. That's good.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, right
Did you get
now,
to 12?
if left unchecked,
Yeah. And
if
my
they
character
get to
does.
12, that is...
Bad.
If that clock reaches 12, that will represent these things infesting the main camp. They are
No
kind of
fingers.
close, but at the moment, they can maybe be stopped if you...
All right, I'm going to move over to this clock and push it away.
Ah.
You push the clock.
So I can attack an area with my weapon.
Chain.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It covers an area, so I can go in to try and help
As I see him running away,
attack.
Okay.
as I see him, I remember that your head was attacked by all those bite bots before and was viciously, that's why you're all scarred up and stuff. And I just give a little snicker.
Try to wear a helmet anymore.
You lost the helmet.
Feed
Okay.
well. Feed well.
Pierce,
my
you would
bite
like to go
friends.
up and help who with her situation?
Yep.
Okay. You rush forward. You find who just at the edge of a cloud that is sort of closing around her. You see littering the ground, sort of an ash and what looks like a powder. It's very strange. Sort of infinite dead nanites lie at your feet. You're sort of crunching through a metallic snow a little bit.
Is this a house here?
Yeah, there is a house there.
So is that the sparkle powder that I'm kind of going through?
That's our nanite swarm.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
a little
nanite
it's a
swarm.
little fuzzy.
Oh,
This
yeah.
game was not exactly designed for things like nanite swarms, which would be a very weird thing for anything. So, bear with me.
All right, I will. You know what I'm going to try to do? Since these nanite swarms are coming in, and this is a house here, can I just grab something like any type of cloth or like carpet or anything on the floor? I'm going to grab it, like something that has had a little bit of weight to it, but is that something I can easily fan around? Because what I want to try to do is I want to disrupt. They're flying, right? So if I can fan the area, they're not going to be able to get close to you to do damage because I'm effectively going to block you by creating a little wind torrent around us. I'm gonna cast the gust of wind spell.
Yeah, you bust in there.
I yell, "This
it's
is
pretty easy to find. You find a piece of sackcloth. You find like a coffee bag that wasn't
sack.
being used at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, just a regular old burlap sack.
I'm just trying to find a way in which I can sort of help in some way.
Yeah. Cool. Pierce, at the moment you reach who? What do you do about this nanite swarm? It's getting close. You see they actually start to move towards you more than they move towards who.
Well, my chain
when
comes
you
out.
approach.
I start whipping it around me, like just because I can attack an area. So
You find it has some effect. You find it deals less harm than you would expect, but you see the occasional spark as you do cleave through a few of these. But it is a swarm of nanites, and you can hold them off for a second.
well,
How dense are these nanites in their cloud?
They're getting denser. I would say if you've ever seen like a mosquito swarm at like a really bad mosquito swarm right at sundown.
Yeah, we're from Minnesota. We know this.
Through there,
gnats.
you can see light through it, but it gets pretty dark. It's like a cloud of smoke.
And it's pretty big. I'm just trying to understand this game. Like how do we cause harm to these things? You know, I'm just trying to figure out the rules a little bit.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to do these myself.
How can we solve this scenario?
Yeah. But this.
What's going on with the wire? Can we see what's down with it?
The issue with the wire would be beyond these bugs.
It's beyond here.
You know something?
Not the wire for.
So how about we'll take a moment here as Pierce and Who are tangling with this cloud that it's not responding to regular old hits. But for the rest of you, why don't you give me a read a situation?
I prefer to call it read a sitch, but that's okay.
Read a sitch. Or
all right, so that would be that's a sharp.
That's weird.
I got succeeds partially.
It's a sharp.
Here.
It's a sharp roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I also got an experience for that.
I got a serious miss.
I have a 9. It's a partial success. Hey, and that's another experience for me. Boom.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm a 2 experience. I have.
Well, I would say as you are surveying the situation, you hear a scream from one of the buildings.
Which building do we hear a scream from?
Miguel, even you notice the as somebody used to reading these strange whispers in the air these days, and somebody who sees a lot of pollen and spores.
All right.
Yeah, you hear a woman scream from inside that building. Miguel, you see that the clouds are sort of drifting towards that. And Smokey, Trout, and Fingers, you can go ahead and ask me a question from the Rita Sitch at that point after that, which is what's my best escape route? Way in, way past. Which enemy is most vulnerable? I can tell you it's not the bite bots. Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What is my enemy's true position? And who is in control here?
Well, all those seem pretty obvious to me. So
you can ask me one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what's my best way in to help her?
Well, your best way in would be there is a door to the southwest that has yet to be swarmed by the bite bots. You see a few of them reaching the building. You see some of the brackets holding a downspout on begin to dissolve a bit by bit. They must have made their way inside the building. But yes, you see a way in that doesn't involve the bite bots to the southwest.
All right, I'll head there then.
All right. Fingers heads there to help. Which one of these is you? This guy. Smokey, go ahead and you get one question on the Rita Sitch.
I slightly
and
alter
Trout, you as well.
what's my enemy's true position to are the bite bots my true enemy in this situation?
Well, I can tell you for free that they're just kind of, they steal everything. They take everything, anything they can. It's a swarm that consumes.
I guess what Smokey's wondering is,
so yes,
are they
they're your
being
enemy,
used as cover by some other people or anything like that? Is there anything else happening that is on peripheral of
is
this?
that Yeah. Yeah, you hear something.
Ooh.
You hear over the sort of high-pitched whines that these clouds make, you hear something, the approach of a biped, something heavy, something machine.
Okay.
Terminator.
Yeah, I will call that out and say there's something else on its way.
I'll ask that woman, are you Sarah Connor?
You hear another woman's. You hear the same woman scream again. Something falls over inside the house. So in this moment, we have fingers running towards the sound of the scream. Miguel and Smokey and Trout are back by another farmhouse behind the line of fires. And Pierce and Who, you are just about to be overwhelmed by a cloud of these bugs. What I'd like to know is what are Trout, Smokey, and Miguel doing in this moment, so we can maybe set up a scene or two, decide which way we look first.
I'm hoping for an opening so I can go and check the wire.
Yeah, Smokey's concerned with getting the wire up because he can't help out much with combat.
Trout is looking for the best way out of combat, how to exit easily and safely.
Okay. Trout, you know your best route is probably just back the way you came. You know these things to drift in clouds, and back towards the arcade might be your best bet.
Okay. Yeah, because I sent my cult members in, and I'm like, well, that's all I can do.
Yeah, can they?
Yeah, they
can throw
are
the sparkle?
supporting the farmers. Yeah, I think they're helping them
to help stop them
push it back.
from biting us so much. Can you?
Yeah, I think they
cult,
could.
throw the sparkle dust up.
Why don't you cover yourself in sparkle dust and then run in and try to, just as they try to bite you, they're sparkle.
Ignite myself.
They get sparkle dusted.
I would say if you wanted to use your gang to help somebody, you could do that as a help or hinder.
Could I use, well, when you speak the truth to a mob, roll plus weird on a 10 plus. Okay, so could I use frenzy? So essentially I want to like, my cult is like the mob, and I'm like, if we take out these bots and solve what's going on here, the town is gonna love us and gonna give us all the accolades we could ever want. Give you riches.
That's real inspiring. So
Breakfast?
Can I just real quick just establish where people are going so that we can see who's in this scene that we're jumping into?
Are you heading? This is you. Are you heading out? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just telling essentially what I want to do is tell my mob, like, help protect this town, and they'll love you, and then I'm leaving.
Oh, he like slingshot.
Okay,
he like catapults his cult. He's like,
yeah, I'm just like, you guys got it. You guys are the best. They're gonna love us, and then I leave in case things go bad.
Okay.
a trebuchet of fish heads.
Smokey and Miguel, where are you in this scenario? You're both trying to get towards the wire, but there's these bite bots in the way. You know that if they get to you, they'll start eating any bit of gear on you and might even eat you too.
Okay, we need to get a hold of some of that sparkle dust.
Yeah, the farmers have lent you a bag of the stuff, so I suppose you could have access to it too in this instant if you want to move up to help Pierce and who deal with the swarms directly.
Yeah, okay, so I'll move over by this brazier here and just toss a handful of the dust onto the brazier if they get close to it.
I think we might call this something of a
do harm.
You go in
out of whose book and use myself as bait.
Well, I think this sounds kind of like a stand Overwatch. Again, I am going a little outside typical battle move scenarios, but this sounds like a standing Overwatch to stand by the fire and try to protect them from the swarms coming in. So
sounds smart.
Yeah, when you that's in battle moves. It will be one of the tactical and support moves. When you stand Overwatch for an ally, which I'll say is Pierce and Who, if anyone attacks or interferes with them, you attack them and inflict harm as established, as well as warning your ally. On a 10+, choose one. You inflict terrible harm or inflict harm before they can do it. So you either hit first or hit harder. If you succeed, and then if you miss, you can warn your ally, but not attack. Okay. So you are moving to stand Overwatch. So why don't you go ahead and roll me plus cool.
Plus cool. Okay.
Roll. Oh, and check for the bonus window. There you go.
Ah, succeeds.
Yes.
There we go.
10+. Woo. Choose one.
Okay. Now if choose one. If anyone attacks or interferes with your ally, which these bite bots will be doing, you attack them with your sparkle smoke, which we've found to be effective, at short distance at least, and you inflict your harm before they can carry out their attack, or you inflict terrible harm. Would you like to focus more on harming these things, or making sure to keep your allies safe?
I think I'm going to go with harming these things.
Okay.
Harm.
Inflict terrible harm.
Okay.
I'm just picturing you. You're walking up and you're like,
Okay.
taking a big inhale of your special
Spores.
your special spores.
A little,
Yeah, he's high as a kite over there.
Okay.
a little inhaler.
All right.
Well, he's got those marks on his face because he's put inhalers.
Well, so yeah, Pierce, not Pierce.
Miguel.
Yeah. You are getting ready to throw this stuff as it is coming towards Pierce and Who. Now, I have a custom move for these bite bots that will happen if you try to go through the bite bot swarms or push through them to get to somewhere else. But these things are right on top of you guys, and you're going to either have to get out of the way or you're going to be engulfed by them. Pierce and Who. What do you do?
Ooh, is this how? So I was suggesting that we run back because I don't have a second bomb ready yet. We need to go basically refill and just throw dust up as we run back. But I feel like it's a little bit of the year
If
of
you're
the
going to
mouse.
flee, you might have to.
Disengage.
Well, there's an action called Year of the Mouse. It says you roll cool on 10+, you escape clean and leave your hunter hunting. On a 7 to 9, your hunter catches you out, but only after you've led them to a place you're choosing. Say where, and on a miss, your hunter catches you out, and MC says where.
Well, I would say this: Who they don't seem to have as much interest in you as they do in Pierce, and they are also flowing towards something else.
Oh, because you have that metal
You
armor.
were able to sneak underneath them. They are going towards Pierce a little more, but there's another pull.
So are you asking for our actions?
Do you
right
try
now?
to flee? Yeah.
What are you doing, Pierce?
This
I'm
thing
gonna-
is rolling in on you. If you don't get out of the way, you're going to be engulfed, and then
Well,
I'll make you
then-
roll the move when you're engulfed.
Then I'll escape clean. I'll be You're the Mouse, and I'll escape clean and leave my hunter hunting.
Okay. Well, I mean, you will have to roll
Roll.
plus cool for that.
Yeah, gee. That's a shame.
Nice. Oh wait, no, that was Miguel's cool.
So is
And then
Cool gonna help?
Help you escape?
yeah.
I mean, I'd want to.
When you're the mouse, which if you're trying to like let these guys hunt you a little,
Well,
yeah,
apparently
when
they
you're
are.
the mouse, roll plus cool. Yes.
Yeah, they are hunting him
don't-
right now. That's a good point.
I don't know if they're. I'm wondering if this is a hunting scenario or a.
Oh, if we're just like straight up
Not,
out in the wild.
Yeah, it might
So
just
is
be
that
a
a subterfuge?
simple.
Well, I'm
Do something
trying to get
with fire.
Okay.
I mean, ideally, I
I
want
would
to run
say-
back and make another bomb right now, but I don't know how much time. You know,
Okay.
I don't know if that's letting you.
Yeah, that sounds like I could do something under fire in both counts if you're trying to escape the fire that is these guys.
Yeah.
Because they're not hunting you with as like a hunter purpose, you know.
Mm-hmm. To just straight up cool.
Yeah, roll me plus cool for a do something under fire.
I succeed.
You want to get back to that fire. Cool.
Actually,
You're able to escape. Who? Give me a under fire as well.
That's another cool.
Roll plus cool, yeah. According to
Do
the
we get
document.
experience every time we do an action that is a highlighted one?
I think so. I'll double check, but I think so. For now, yes.
Nate, you
It's
got
a silly
10?
game. Why not?
All right. Well, because I mean, the other one was throwing the smoke bomb up and blowing up, and that was a. I think that was a cool.
Nice.
And this is another.
You both succeed on doing something under fire, so the two of you are able to get out of there.
Yes.
Miguel, your standing overwatch is still good for now. You're still standing overwatch for them for just a moment here. But they are able to get back to the sparkle smoke, and who you're able to make another
bomb.
makeshift bomb.
Excellent.
In the meantime, Fingers, you arrive to the southwest door of this farm building where there is a screaming woman. The bite bots have started to erode the metal on the other side of the building, and they're obviously inside. What do you do?
I'm going to try to go into the other side and lead her to safety out that back door.
Okay. You open the door. You hear a high-pitched whining noise and feel a strange breeze in here. It's dark, and you see there's a room with a door open. You hear somebody sobbing inside. Do you go in to grab her?
I'll touch the door handle, make sure it's not hot, and then I will I'll push the door open and I'll look in. As I push out the door, I'll push my face inside and go, "Here's Fingers," and I'll look down.
You see a small girl wrapped with her arms wrapped around something clutched tightly to her chest, and she just screams when she sees you.
And then I scream back at her. I'm like, "Ah!" I look back and I go, "What are you screaming at?"
Jeez. She just like presses herself into the corner and
Hey.
tightens her grip on the
Hey, little
object.
one, you ain't doing any of us any favors. The longer you're here, the longer I'm here. Get off your ass and get out.
No, get away. I didn't find anything.
I don't care what you got in your hands. Just get off your duff and get out of the building.
Gosh, that sounds like a manipulate.
Yes, it does.
Someone. I mean, do you have... I mean, she's obviously got a... She's not getting the picture, so... Why don't you go ahead and roll plus hot for a seduce or
Yeah, my
manipulate.
hot is 0.
And I guess this is a manipulate or maybe a fast talk.
It's up to you what you think.
What
How about
you want
manipulate?
them to do is go with you.
Yeah,
And your reason?
because there's danger coming. Because
It's the
there's
reason that... Okay. Okay,
the bots
go
are
ahead.
coming. So I'm gonna try to manipulate her. See what I roll here. Do I get advantage?
You don't...
Everybody's
get,
like, we're not playing
advantage.
D&D.
You
I
get a
hate you.
plus 0.
Okay, here we go. Come on, big money. I rolled a
Ooh,
partially
partial success.
successful. Partially successful.
Pretty good.
Okay. So she's gonna need...
Which move is this that we're
successes
doing?
Are the ones
You
where
get
I
some
guess
concrete
Seduce to
assurance.
manipulate someone.
Corroboration or evidence.
this is under... Yes, under the basic moves. They'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, some corroboration or evidence first.
I'm like, you hear those bots? They're coming for us both. If you don't get,
Yeah, the
I don't
mosquitoes
care
are-
what's in. I don't care what's in your hands. I don't care what's in your heart.
You bring it outside Independence Day speech.
Care what's in your
Oh,
heart.
if you don't. Actually,
I don't care who you voted for, who you didn't.
If you say you don't care what's in her hands, and she sort of loosens her grip, and you see for a moment as she puts it into a pocket, you see a radio, like a hand radio, and she pockets the thing and scrambles to you. She grabs your hand and goes, "Oh, okay.
Come on, kid." And I'm gonna drag her out of the place to the back door and close the door on the way out.
You close the door. Miguel, as you are standing watch with this powder, you may even be flinging some of it to keep this swarm at bay. When you hear fingers and this woman come out of this building, you see these swarms change direction as if there's a change in the wind.
I'm gonna interrupt for a second. How old is this person that I had just manipulated? I mean, like in what in our adult years, just so I can. I know I don't know their age, but like is it like 6 years old person, or like a 12-year-old person, or like an 18, or like 20?
Yeah, she's like a preteen, like 10.
Okay,
maybe
I just want to get an
9,
idea.
maybe not preteen yet.
Yeah.
Not old enough to.
So as I
call to not panic in this
So
situation.
so as she comes outside the door, though, I just want to turn. I'm kind of spin her around, and because I saw the radio in her hand, right? I kind of crouched down a little bit to kind of get more on her eye level, and I go, remember when I said I didn't care about what was in your hands? Well, this is a lesson where you start learning how adults lie.
Her eyes get big and scared. She tries to break away from you and run north.
I'm gonna try to grab. I'm trying to grab the radio off her hands.
She was in her pocket.
I wonder if that sounds like an act under fire. The fire.
Yes, it is.
She'll get away. So why don't you go ahead and roll me plus cool?
All right, and I get an experience point for this. I'm an experience point junkie. Come on, big money. Ooh, I didn't roll great, but I get an experience point. I'll take it.
Partial success.
I'll let her go. I just want the stuff. I just want to grab the radio. She can run away. What is my partial success?
On a 7 to 9, you... Well, actually, hang on. I wonder if that might not be a do something under fire. I wonder if that might not be a go aggro. No, if you're not trying to hurt her, it's not go aggro. So, okay. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. Can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Simple. The ugly choice is you don't get this thing from her right away. She's surprisingly tough. She's been helping farm for a while. She's got a surprising amount of grip on her for a little girl, and by the time you are able to wrench this thing out of her hands, this swarm is already upon you. It is, yeah. As you're fighting with her, this swarm comes rolling in on you.
All right.
Do you want to continue to try to wrest this from her grasp, or do you want to get yourself away from this swarm?
It's a little kid, so I'm gonna have to wrestle it from her grasp. Damn it.
It's a hard choice right there.
Okay.
An ugly one.
All right. Well, you are able to grab the radio.
As I do so, I look down at her as the swarm comes upon us, and I go, I hope this thing can call someone who can help.
Oh boy.
Calling the swarm.
Okay. When you are... I made a custom move here.
Oh, great.
For the bite bots. It happens when you are swarmed with the bite bots. Maybe I should have had this B plus hard. Anyways, I reserve the right to change things. Anyways, but it looks like it's a plus cool at the moment as written. So when you are swarmed with bite bots, roll plus cool. On a 10, you can escape the swarm or push deeper.
All right, so I have to roll against cool right now to see what my outcome is.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll first do that, and hopefully I don't roll a 1, as so many people have done today. So, all right, well, then 8. So on a 7 and 9, pick 1. On a miss, pick 2.
So you got to pick one of those?
All right.
Okay.
You sacrifice.
So you can escape, but you sacrifice a piece of barter. You sacrifice a piece of gear.
Chunk of your flesh.
It becomes useless. You take a harm, or some of your armor is destroyed. But I don't think you have any armor.
I don't have any armor. What's an odd mint?
Basically, you.
So that's just our currency. So you carry things that are good for trading.
Got it.
So anything worthwhile, I believe.
Like by stock or something.
And you should have a
Yeah, that's
barter,
your.
the
You
bottom.
have oddments. You started with oddments worth 2 barter.
Oh, I see. So I would lose one of
So
those.
I went and ticked that barter up. Yeah.
So I would lose one of those. Okay, so I'll lose one of my barter as they kind of
Okay.
swarm and start eating whatever is in my pockets that are on me, like that's of value.
Yeah, they go for your stuff, and you pull it out of your pockets and toss it. You see, the baubles you
Little
were
meat
carrying
balls.
are consumed by a little millimeter cube at a time, and some of the swarm flies away, a little heavier laden. But you are able to escape to close range with this thing.
And you have +1 radio.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a radio. Anyway, I'm running toward the rest of the group is where I'm running to.
And the swarm's following you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is great.
Oh God.
Look what I got. Idiot.
All
I
right.
have the thing that's attracting to them, and I'm coming to you.
Let's make another sparkle bomb out of it.
Yeah.
Come on. This will get all of them. One big
That's the
sparkle
idea.
bomb.
My idea.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you my idea to everybody else, in case, for at least to Eric, is I want to take the radio, and if I can get them all to go where the radio is, we can bomb them and blow them up.
That's
My idea. I just said that out loud.
Yeah,
So
but I have the radio.
So you go running towards the rest of the group now. This woman goes running away
That's fine.
from the swarm. No longer its target.
And running away from you.
I wouldn't blame her.
Pierce and Who, you see him running towards you. Smokey and Trout from the back a ways, you see him go running. He's got something in his hands. You can't quite see what it is, but Pierce and Who, you see a hand radio. This puts up a red flag in your head immediately. That's a signal-equipped device. That's super, super dangerous because the drones can hear it. And lo and behold, you all observe these clouds moving slowly towards it.
Can I eat that?
What do you do?
I'm going to disregard Who to begin
Who
with.
wants to eat the radio?
Please.
All right. Where is the mute button for Who? All right.
Hey, it literally says on her character sheet.
Fourth cervical vertebrae, a little bit between the, little bit above the shoulders.
One of the things about the child thing is that it says in addition to food, you eat bizarre things: metal, people, plastics, mines, electricity, and art. So
That's interesting.
she is legitimately eating.
Eating the
Pick up some dirt.
electronics.
Weird.
Okay. Well, that is a different part of your character. All right, but no, you're not eating the radio.
Huh.
So anyway, that's you see me running. I have the radio in my hand. What do you guys want to do?
How are the cultists doing?
Yeah,
They are holding the
part of my
line at the moment. They are chucking sparkle smoke by hand. They've never used this defense against the bite bots before, but they're certainly going for it because they don't think they're going to get dinner without it.
It's
I
I'm
tried
yelling.
to-
I'm yelling behind him, like, "You don't get food if you don't take out those bite bots."
Can I do a keep an eye out move and instruct the farmers to coordinate the last of their sparkle smoke?
Who says they're running out?
Around when they all gather around fingers. Like I'm trying to coordinate them to time it.
Is that a keep an eye out or
Setting a trap, I think.
PC and ally in order or instruction or suggestion if they do.
Or
it,
is
they
that
get
setting a
+1
trap?
rolls.
that?
Like, I'm definitely setting another trap for him. And
Yeah.
basically, Fingers is the bait here.
Yeah, you're the bait.
Well, I'm the bait. You're the bait.
Yeah,
You're the
no,
radio.
I think that's. I think that would be a keep an eye out. You have a vantage, and you're. Okay, you can keep an eye out for what's coming. Go ahead and roll plus sharp.
Nice.
11 succeeds.
Wow.
Sick.
Wait, that's the last roll.
Ah!
No, just a 6 miss.
That's a 6. That's not great. On a miss, hold 1. Okay. During the battle, spend that hold 1 for 1. So it's basically you have hold until the battle's over. You can spend it to ask what's coming and choose to do 1 on that list.
if I
Direct
only
a
get the
PC
1.
or an ally attention to an enemy or danger, and you can basically give a bonus or
it's still
take
a
minus
success.
1 harm from it.
You just didn't get 2 or 3. You only got 1.
Yeah,
but
just the
that's
one.
Yeah.
that's cool. I was expecting
It's
the
one of
worst.
the few. It's one of the few ones where you don't expect the worst because it is the one you do when you're standing there and waiting.
Yeah.
So it's minimally effective, but still effective. So yeah, you will hang on to that during the upcoming maneuver as the rest of this starts to move past. Miguel, at this point, the swarm behind you and the swarm ahead of you you're running out of places to escape here as they sort of sweep south to chase after the radio in Fingers' hands. You might have to abandon this fire if you're not doing something. They close in on you. You start to feel them nipping at the eyelets on your boots and the clasps on your gear. What do you do?
As they're coming in on me, I will just toss that the sparkle smoke into the fire.
Let's call it a seize by force. And what you're seizing by force is the land you're standing on. That's your keeping hold of something you have. Instead of choosing to take definite control, you can choose to keep definite control. Okay. So yes, it's a variation of seize by force. That's what I'm deciding.
Okay.
So go ahead and please roll plus hard.
Okay.
That actually makes sense.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh boy.
You
So you still choose one though.
you miss.
You can still choose one though.
On a miss, that's a seize by force. Choose one. You inflict terrible harm, plus 1 harm. You suffer little harm. You take minus 1. You take definite and undeniable control of it, or you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
What do you think, Graham?
Okay, I do terrible harm was one of the options, right?
Yeah.
I want to do terrible harm.
Okay. You do terrible harm. You do destroy one of the clouds of bite bots.
There we go.
This is gonna hurt Miguel.
With that, but
You more than me.
you are also gonna hurt. So you are swarmed by bite bots.
No,
And you're going to have to make a roll plus cool. I popped out the chat and I didn't want to do that. Why did I do that? Roll plus 2 for the custom move that happens when you are swarmed by bite bots.
Okay.
Ooh.
Succeed partially.
Partial success. Okay. Let's see. You can escape. You can escape, but you must sacrifice 1 barter worth of stuff. You're going to take a harm, or a piece of gear you have becomes useless, or your armor is reduced by 1, but you're not wearing armor. So
Okay. I will lose a barter.
Ooh, you guys are paying the swarm today.
Yeah, this they get into your stuff. You'll find out later today that it destroyed some of your some of the vials you carry your tinctures in.
Not your drugs.
Bits of glass have jagged 90-degree edges on them.
How is it going to affect these swarms?
Yeah, the swarm starts spinning in circles.
These things respond to different signals. And in fact, I think that's where we have to turn our attention next. Are the remainder of the swarms are coming at Fingers, who is holding a hand radio.
I happen to be giving him one of them at the same time. Just one of my fingers. You can choose which one.
Trout, your gang is doing their best to keep these things back. You don't know where that woman from earlier went. Your attention is focused on the swarms.
The idea is that I want to drop the radio, and when they're kind of all going after the radio, we can use the dust to kill the swarm. Boom, we attract them.
Okay, that sounds like some bait.
Yes.
In my mind.
Trap.
I am a bait. You're the bait.
Okay. If you're the bait, go ahead and roll plus cool.
Yeah, roll plus
on a 10
cool.
plus.
All right.
On a 10 plus, choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. You draw your prey all the way in. They don't suspect you, or you don't expose yourself to extra risk.
Come on. I have so terrible cool, so it's a miracle if I do well. I did like very much average, and my experience goes up one more.
Let's freaking go.
They want
Cool.
you guys all wanted to see
Let me know
me
if you
sharp
hit
and cool.
5.
Pick one.
Okay. You draw your prey all the way into the trap. Otherwise, they no. I want to draw them all the way into the trap.
Okay. Yeah, you get in there, you toss the radio. The rest of them are cornered. They form into one big swarm around this thing. What do you do?
Well, the idea is that I'm going to throw it in there so that somebody else can throw the dust at this compacted.
I did
swarm.
have a bomb ready, and there's a bunch of cultists that are throwing the stuff at the same time. So we have a few people that are doing the firepower portion of this. If that helps.
And I will help and
That
shoot
sounds
it
about
again.
right. You want to... I wonder if this counts as a... Well, what the heck? It sounds like a harm for harm. But we aren't... May have been a mistake doing something that doesn't take traditional harm right off the bat.
as an introductory adventure.
Isn't there a ranged firing too?
Yeah. But I think we'll go ahead and say, if you're able to get that bomb going, you might be able to deal a final blow to this thing.
Yeah, I
So
did.
who got the bomb?
Last time you had me
Go ahead
do the
and,
bomb under fire, so I have it.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay. So yeah, that's my action is to basically throw the sparkle. Dang it. What's it called? Sparkle smoke?
Yeah.
Bomb.
The sparkle smoke.
Can you help in combat? Because
Yeah.
I think Trout would help.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, so So Trout just stares deeply at who. He's just like, "You got it, kid. You got it."
A weird,
And then he hides back under the barrel or whatever he's hiding.
a weird moment. You guys are by one of the other farmhouses as this battle is taking place. You're watching your guys.
Me and Smokey are just in the field position,
But, all right.
Checking stuff out.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm so glad that you're with us.
Since this was part of the
Hey,
plan,
go ahead
I
and
got
roll
my cult partial success.
should I roll cool again too?
Or no, I'm sorry. No, succeeds. So I do succeed in
Wait.
aiding you.
You get a +2 to your
Okay. Who you get a +2.
All right.
to your act under
Fine.
fire. Go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm
and roll
thinking
that for
12.
me.
I'm thinking 12
And
right
this
now.
is the act under fire still?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's go. +2.
You're gonna add 2 to it. Okay, big money.
Ooh, partial success.
Oh, partial success.
+2.
That is
That's
the
what's
plus 2.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, it was a +2. Okay, yep. Shoot.
All right, but that was
All right,
two. That was two
partial
traps, though, right?
success.
Like he had his trap set, and then I did have a partial success on it. So, anyways, go ahead.
Okay, on a partial success for the do something under fire, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. You get a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. I'd say the hard bargain is it takes you a sec to get prepared with that thing. It comes loose. You got to retie it quick, and now you got to make a decision whether you you got to make a decision whether you destroy these things close to you or close to the radio on the ground. You're gonna chuck this thing, and Pierce is ready to shoot, but now it's too close to get them clean before they get to you. So.
Oh, I see. So it's either throwing them near the swarms that are closest to myself, or closest to the radio.
Yeah, you're either going to you were a little too slow on this bomb thing, and now you're danger close, and you could get it.
I'll do it by the radio. That was
Okay.
the plan.
Yeah, you toss it towards the far end of this thing where they have congregated, damaging the radio in the process, but with a blast of sparkles and acrid smoke, you see that the rest of this Bitebot infestation has been driven back.
Yes. She hisses at it.
And when you destroy that radio, you hear a strange beep come from the thing as it malfunctions, makes a few noises, and then goes silent.
So where's the person that was running that had the radio?
The girl?
Yeah, the girl took off, I think.
She ran up to
She
the
has
Yeah,
fled
she ran off.
to the north. As these drone swarms scatter, you go to look at what's left of that radio. It has been hit with some shrapnel. A blast has sort of cracked its case, and it seems dead. You haven't tried to use it, but
Don't want to do that.
it looks somewhat cobbled together.
I'm going to start
salvaged.
tearing it apart.
Don't. I'm gonna stop her from trying to tear it apart. She's not tearing it apart.
Oh. Okay. Who is close can get to it. Fingers is close. He can get to it as well.
I think I see who start making her way towards the radio. I know that's important to be like, hey, everybody, fish heads, come together. Bring it in. That includes you. And I point at who.
Who? It's your decision.
It's a who huddle.
Oh, I'm going for the radio.
Oh God.
Oh, you didn't listen? You didn't listen.
And
No food for you.
Fingers, you don't
No
want
food for you.
who to get a hold of that radio, do you? So
No, I want to grab the radio because I want to see if we can what parts we can use from it. It's we can get some information from it. There's all kinds of things.
Well,
I think
so Trout's trying to manipulate who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. You're trying to manipulate a PC right now.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yep.
manipulation. Get some rolling.
so. Yeah, we have a few things going on here, and now since the rules are the way they are, I got to make a decision as to which goes first. So the action is who is trying to get the radio. Smokey doesn't want that because
I don't want that heat on my bar.
he wants to do a manipulate, and Fingers is just trying to stop who. So.
And Trout was trying to manipulate me as well, trying to tell me not to go.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, when you seduce or manipulate a PC, well, let's resolve the words and then we'll resolve the actions. So let's do the seduce or manipulate. Trout, when you try to seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie to a PC on a 10 plus, there's a couple of choices here. Basically, well, you can go ahead and roll plus hot, Trout.
All right, come on. Let's see if you're to try.
And there's a different list.
Come on.
Succeeds partially.
So you succeed partially. When you on a partial success, you can choose that who goes along with you, if who goes along with you, they mark experience, or if they refuse, they have to erase one of their highlights for the session.
Yeah, I think if you were no, wait, do we have a highlight? Yeah, I think if you refuse me,
we don't have a ton.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of stuff, but I do think like you're in my cult. You're supposed to listen to me. If you refuse me, you'll have to erase one of your highlights if that comes up.
Okay. And then who do you go with? Do you go with Trout or not?
She grabs. She stops in her tracks after you're like sort of like yelled at her extra hot over there. And she's just like, fine, I won't eat it.
So hot.
I'm not gonna eat it. You're right, Trout. You're always right. You're right.
That's right. I am always right.
Who?
Always remember that.
So
I'm always right, and I look at everybody else.
Okay. All right.
I ignore him and grab the radio.
That gives me experience, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is my fifth one.
Fingers, yes. You get your hands on the radio.
All right.
No, you don't.
Does that get you experience? I don't.
No, he picked.
You don't get experience. You simply.
If I go along, I mark experience.
No, he chose. If you don't.
Oh wait, it might be.
You don't get both.
Hang on, there might be.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry,
he rolled 7.
Yeah, hold on. It was a character stick.
Yeah, I was threatening you essentially.
Somehow that threatening is appropriate for Trout.
Yes.
Yeah, my bad. All right. Well, I have one more check mark to get.
Yeah, you avoid
improvement.
Hey, so
you avoided the negative consequences by doing what he said. But as every contested roll like that, it is still your choice. There will just be that little.
Got it. Yeah, it's a characteristic
to it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
All right, I picked the radio up,
so
and I take it it's damaged, right?
Oh yeah, it's cracked to hell. There's no lights on the thing.
All right, I pick it up and I walk back over to the group.
Of shrapnel.
I'm like, hey, so there are these. This radio is here. Some signals being sent out from that young woman.
Buddy, every one of you jumps at that. You've been conditioned that signal, no good, really bad.
Signal equals bad.
And you see this thing because you know the drones can hear it, and you've just observed them chasing it. The farmers come around as well. They shoulder their shotguns. They light some really nasty hand-rolled cigarettes. But they come to go around you as well, to join the circle as well, and go, hell, you guys really helped us out there. As you want to help, sort of huddled around this radio.
You want to help me out more? Why don't you tell me who that young girl was? Because she got this radio from somewhere.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! You should drop that right now. Oh my god.
Yes, Fingers, that needs to be destroyed. But his question is important. I would like to try to use Everybody Eats Even That Guy to find out about that girl in the other.
Oh, interesting. Hang on. Farmers saw Fingers with the radio.
Yes, they did. In my fingers.
And they are really they're really scared of that thing, but you also helped them out. You may have saved their lives.
Can I taunt them with it?
Now,
Ooh.
they the one guy
ham on
goes
their
for
Annie.
like puts his hand around the shotgun as he backs off, but looks like that's fighting words to fake a signal device at him. You don't know what that's going to do. But Smokey, you wanted to know what you learned about this person. What do you need to know in order to?
I can just gather information. So I just want to know something about somebody. If they're important or not, it's my call. I guess it's kind of weird, but on a hit, I get to ask 3 questions. On a partial success, I ask 1, and if I miss, I still get to ask 1, but they hear about my interest in them.
Okay. The farmers say, "All right, take it easy with that thing. I didn't know she found it. That was September, my daughter."
September. Ooh, and I got a 12.
Oh, wow.
You got a December.
12.
Yeah, so I get 3. So I'm gonna go. Who does September trust?
Well, September trusts Polina.
Okay.
Who's Polina? I don't know that person.
She's
She's
Polina
an elder who makes
is
soup.
Yes, she's the matronly soup mother.
Okay.
Makes the best soup in town.
Okay.
In the
and
known
everybody
human
eats.
world.
So
Okay, so that's one question. A second question, I would like to know, when can I expect to see them next?
you could next expect to see them. You could next expect to see them back at home, maybe later tonight.
Okay. How can we... I'll kind of ask by asking the farmers just personal questions about what she likes, but how can I get to September emotionally? Get a little bit of leverage in the back pocket here.
That is a good question. I think when you're talking to this farmer about her, and he goes, well, she thinks she thinks it's all very safe in here. She's never seen outside the wire, so if you could just convince her that she's totally safe, she usually opens up, but she flees as soon as it's not, as soon as there's any talk of drones or raiders, she's disappears and hides.
Okay, pretty skittish. That's pretty good to know.
That's a good trick.
Provide a environment of safety.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you. I'll give the farmers all a voucher for a free drink at tonight's fight.
I try to take one of those.
I will not let Fingers have a free drink voucher.
As the hands are coming out, he's like, my hands go like.
You see all of my followers and me reach out for drink voucher.
You get your drink and food from working.
I'm just like,
so fun. Thanks.
Where did they get a radio?
I think that's what we need to go ask him.
Oh,
Did
she come out of that house with it?
She had it. She was holding it in the house.
I don't know where she got it.
That's why we're gonna go find out.
Yeah, we have no idea.
The farmer, her father goes, I don't know where she got it. She was here. She had something hidden from me, but she wouldn't show it to me. And I had to deal with all these bite bots out here. And then next thing I know, you come running out with her. And she's got that thing.
Gotta keep that daughter in line.
You got it.
I think she just has a radio and you don't know about it?
Trout, are you chastising this father?
Yes.
He goes, well, I can't control these. I can't control my daughter. She does what she wants. She's free spirited. We gotta.
Put my thumb back and be like, I control every single one of these guys. You can't control one daughter?
Hey, we live here. You're just the outsiders. You watch it.
Yeah, and these outsiders just saved your ass.
He goes, well, I don't know what you want with my daughter, but if you've got that radio from her, you don't need to give her any more trouble. She doesn't know anything about the signal or the drones. Just leave her be.
Hey, all we really want to know is where she got it from. We ain't trying to cause her anything.
I don't know, man.
Well, that's why we're going to ask her.
I don't know, man.
Calmly.
She must have got it last night.
We're going to ask her calmly, without any people ordering or being mean to her. I just saved your daughter's life. You're welcome. I prefer you give me a few barter for it. But I tell you what, in lieu of getting the barter, I'll just have a little conversation with your daughter without any violence or any threats, which basically means Trout staying home.
He's, geez, you're a weird dude. I'm not sure a guy wants that. Go ahead and roll me a seduce or manipulate. Manipulate this guy into.
Do it.
All right. Well, I have 0 benefit for hot, so we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, you're kind of creepy. He doesn't want to take you at your word here. Oh yeah, he goes, look, take the radio and thanks for the help, but you stay the hell away from my daughter. And he takes his shotgun and he starts heading back towards their home.
I just think you got to remember to keep your child out of the way of the radio, and maybe you should look into her a little bit more. She's knee deep in this. I'll slink away.
He turns around. He goes, "Fuck you, man."
I'm gonna
just
as we're walking
slink away.
As we're walking away, I'm gonna tug on Trout's leg. Like, hey, who? And her name was September, right?
Yeah, I think so. September. Yeah.
Who's September?
Yeah.
Who's September? All right. I go.
Yeah. Who's September? Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then she'll scamper off ahead and try to go. She's basically going to go try to look for her.
I'm going to head to Polina's mess hall because that's where we'd probably see her later. So
Miguel's going to go off and look at the wire and see what he can find out. Check out the damage.
Yeah, thought that.
How about we go ahead, we wrap up stuff here with the wire. We'll do a scene at the wire, see what we see there, and then how about we continue with the rest of the investigation next time?
Absolutely, sounds good.
All right,
sounds good.
So let's follow for our last scene of the evening. Let's follow Miguel and who else would like to approach the wire? These fires are still burning, but the bite bots are gone.
I know nothing about the wire, so I'm not going to bother going after that.
Well, actually, I initially was going to accompany and guard Miguel to the wire, so he'll like switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I send
I'd like someone to have my back.
I send my cult members back to the arcade to get everything set up for the fight tonight. Then I'll go to the wire as well.
They go, yes. They like chest bump each other. Yeah, and go running back to the arcade.
I look at all of them. And I'm like, and I think what you probably want to do is get back there, buy me a drink, and I'm going to watch you get some work done. No?
Okay.
Figures.
Yeah, they don't listen
Doge
to you.
takers.
They don't. I think I
they
have
don't listen to
charisma.
you, do they?
I think I have charisma. That's my biggest fault.
It's your dumpster.
His biggest fault is he thinks he's hotter than he is.
Right. Yeah, that's a problem.
Does anybody else go out towards the perimeter of town with Miguel and Pierce?
I thought Trout was coming.
Smokey will go out there.
Okay.
Looks like you and I are staying behind.
All right.
Yeah, I scampered up ahead. I mean, I also heard them talking about Paulina's mess hall, right? Actually, was that just in your head? Or were you talking to the farmers about it and thinking that they'd go there later?
Like in my head, like I'm going to head over there, and then I see them heading off, and I'm like, oh, let's do that.
No, I mean there were some questions, right, that somebody asked about, like gathering information.
Oh yes, Smokey Smokey has deep knowledge of September as the local establishment guy.
Yeah, we might find her at Pauline's or maybe back home when everything's cooled off.
And I think that was discussed out loud, is my point.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where, like, one of the things that we'll probably do is go check around some like known places around town, but maybe some unknown ones too.
Okay.
So, yeah, to the wire, I guess.
All right.
Gotta get these defenses back up.
Cool. Miguel, you have been shown the locations of the traps and kill zappers that make up the wire. You go to check one of their locations in a small clearing in the woods. You see a steel. It's a giant bug zapper, essentially, around a post. You see where there was supposed to be a bait, a section of reclaimed aluminum the zapper has been cut as if by a blade. You see that the cage has been cut open and the aluminum bait inside removed. You see a lot of disturbance on the ground here. You see piles of fresh dirt, as well as the occasional motorcycle track when they were going over something squishy. Miguel, why don't you roll me a read a situation and
8.
Cool. With a partial success on the read a situation, you get to ask one question. What is my best escape route? Which enemy is the most vulnerable? Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? And who is in control here?
Huh. Okay, I guess my question will be, who is in control here?
Who is in control here at this moment?
I guess the more specific question would be, who took the bait for the trap? Who wrecked the trap?
Well, that's tough to read from here. I would say
In a trail, maybe? Is there a trail?
you have. I will say you have things speak as a move, and Reality's Fraying Edge.
Yes.
Reality's Fraying Edge takes place in your workspace. But I will remind you, if whenever you handle or examine something interesting, you can use the weird to ask a different list of questions, if you'd like.
Okay.
That would involve opening your brain up a little bit to the weirdness, but you would get to use your weird, and you would get to ask sort of more in-depth questions about what happened to that item, and not just sort of the lay of the land at this immediate moment, you know?
Okay.
So if you're examining the wire trap itself, I might suggest you do a things speak, but read a sitch is perfectly good as well, and is less, little less dangerous to fail at.
Okay, so we'll do read sitch then.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll take your mixed success for the read a sitch then. But if you want to know who is in control here, what might be in control here is whatever is making the creaking, clanking steps somewhere in the distance in the woods past the tree line.
Oh,
You
shit.
hear heavy steps.
Right, we heard that a little while
I'm
ago.
not sure you're in immediate danger, but who is in control here? The
Yes.
answer is the drone.
I think you said who is in control here.
Whether you're being attacked right now, you don't know, but you get this uneasy sense reading this situation that humanity does not own this particular plot of land right now.
Uh,
I'm gonna text who I slap in the.
Don't use your signal.
Okay.
Pierce, if you're looking around as well, what do? You see this
So what was the
crunched
bait?
up thing.
Do we know
It
what
was
the
a
bait
piece
was?
of
The bait was
it was a piece of aluminum.
the bait was
Just a piece of scrap
yeah
metal
the
that
bait was
drones will
about
eat.
5 pounds of aluminum. Aluminum. Miguel, you know the aluminum to be one of the favorites of the bite bots. It's the most easily recyclable. They will consume that they can consume 5 pounds of aluminum in a matter of minutes. If it weren't for these kill zappers that surround them, of course.
Which is only
But
worth like
right now
25
they are
cents at the recycle
off.
center.
Probably more
Okay,
now.
so is there a way I can cut power to the kill zapper? Here.
You see the power has already been cut. In fact, surveying the situation, you can see that a cable has been dug up and removed.
Ooh, that's not good.
So they cut the
You
power and
see,
stole the
you see the
bait?
remnants of the buried cable, the hidden part. You even helped with some of this process, wrapping the cable in natural materials to disguise it from the bite bots. You see that this has been dug up very accurately and removed.
Look over at who.
I'm not there.
You think, seeing this
around.
situation now, you know somebody had to know where those wires were. You don't see a lot of searching. You don't see a lot of exploratory holes. You find it is
Somebody knew
they've
exactly
been dug
where it
up by
was.
somebody who obviously
Yeah.
knew where they were. And so not only has the trap been broken, the cables connecting it to the network have been removed, taken.
So we'll need to replace the cables and
All right?
fix the trap.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see. I guess I'll have to see if Lightbulb Larry has got some replacement cable for that. If he's got a length big enough that we can splice it in there. And see if we can, we'll, at worst, retrofit the thing back together. Or at best, replace the whole mesh there.
Yeah, it's a big lift. It's going to be a bit to build it. You're going to need the bait. You're going to need the cables, and you're going to need the knowledge.
I got to go talk to Lightbulb Larry. He was probably the one who masterminded all this.
He was, yes. All right. I guess we will end with Pierce. What do you do? You see Miguel finishes examining this sliced through trap. He points out to you the dug up cable, the evidence that somebody knew what they were doing here. You can hear it too on the edges, the northeast in the distance. You can hear the footsteps of metal creatures. With a slight whisper. Nothing's attacking you at the moment. You're out here a little far. This is the perimeter. Behind you are the glow of the fires that the farmers set, and the farm and Greenhill.
Listen,
What do you do?
Let's get back. There's something coming. We need to find. We need to repair this quickly. But how is a bug zapper going to help against that?
Well,
You
The
know
wire-
the bug zapper attracts and destroys bite bots. With it, when it is intact, you are totally safe from the bite bots. Everything else is kind of your job.
Well, you said Trout's here, right? Well, Trout's kind of useless without his mob, so.
I can bring him back anytime I want.
But they're way over there.
What are you gonna do?
Dance.
Send a signal?
Yeah.
I have a little whistle. They know the call.
It's a whistle.
It's a little dog whistle.
Only fish heads can hear it.
Exactly.
Like dogs and fish heads come running.
Dogs and fish heads. This just comes sprinting.
I guess. What time of day is it? So
It is. Oh, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh, early
okay.
still.
So early.
Oh, it's
So
very
let's
early.
go. I guess let's go find Lightbulb Larry because we need to at least get the perimeter back up if we can.
He's probably at the lounge.
All right.
And I'll mention to Pierce as we're walking too that just that was a very precise job. They knew exactly where to dig. They knew exactly what to take out. And
Well,
I
maybe
think the
Larry
only
knows
person
who
who
that is.
really knows the system. Oh, maybe he does. I don't think he is responsible for it, but he did say to beware that there are things out here that he might know more than he lets on.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, the group turns away from the woods, moves back towards the arcade to head up through the gate and to the rest of Greenhill to find Lightbulb Larry and to go investigate Paulina to see who has stopped into her establishment. The six of you head away from the scene of the bite bots, knowing that for now it is safe, but feeling extremely vulnerable to the gap in your defenses at the northeast corner of town. You honestly found more questions than answers out here. Where'd the radio come from? Where did September go? Who tipped off the raiders?
It's like we're watching Jeopardy.
But for now, nothing but perhaps the very distant drones on the horizon see you as you head back towards the arcade. And we're going to stick a pin in our session for now and get back to it next time.
All right. Thanks a lot. It was a fun little session.
We do have one move to do.
Oh, we do. Well, we have a closeout move.
We have to do.
Yep.
We have to do the session end.
Okay.
Let's just start at the top here. So Trout, let me just refresh myself on session end real quick. Session end. Okay. So Trout, choose a character who knows you better than they used to.
I think.
Or does anybody?
Yeah.
I think maybe we should do it this way. I'll say we're choosing it for Trout. Would any of the rest of you say you know Trout better now?
Well, I didn't realize he was such a coward. I think I realized that now.
What are you talking about? He's the same as he's always been.
He's the greatest guy in the world. I do think who might know me a little better now when I told her to stop just enforcing my will on you a little bit.
You sort of tried to make it clear that who was part of your group and not an exceptional member.
Yep.
All right. It's your choice. Who do you want to give a +1 to on their sheet? Who or?
I think who would know me a little bit better now because like I said, I was that a little domineering towards you.
Yeah, you
Nice.
were.
That's cool.
All right,
I
+1 for Trout.
Who? Go ahead and add +1. If any of you reach +4, let me know.
Got it.
Fingers. Who knows you better? And does anybody think they know Fingers better?
Yeah. Anybody else know my character better now?
You were talking to we all kind of saw the same thing about you sort of talking at the farmer and trying to get him to, you ran in and saved that girl. I was not paying attention to that part of it as much because of the swarms are around me.
Yeah. I mean, I did most of my interesting stuff tonight by myself, unfortunately. But
you did come back with the radio, though.
September probably knows me the best.
September would rather not.
So
yeah.
All of us might be roughly equal, so you could just pick one at your whim. Then,
all right, I would probably say probably Smokey. I'll say Smokey because he was the one he's trying to negotiate the situation, and I'm sort of just jumping in and kind of creating chaos. That's unless somebody else has a better idea.
Checks.
Take it.
That sounds good.
One to Fingers.
Smokey, right. Yes. Who knows who better than who?
Pierce knows me better now. We fought literally side by side in this one. I was throwing stuff up. He was shooting it. That's easy answer for me today.
Yeah, and I would be
Pierce.
The same.
Add +1 to your hex with who.
That brings me up to 4.
And
nice.
That brings you up to 4 with who. Okay.
Nice.
Now your history becomes 0. Reset it back down to 0 with who, and mark experience.
Oh, nice.
This represents the fact that you know who a little bit more, and maybe in knowing who more, you've discovered a new layer to this person. You've discovered, by learning more about who, you've discovered you've got more to learn.
Me?
Maybe who's not just this weird freakazoid child, you know?
Maybe who is smarter than
they're like really smart and throwing this stuff around, and yeah. And actually it would be the same. I think that
for fighting the other.
Who would know me better?
All right, you're going from -1 to 0 then. Sounds good.
Wow, you really knew who, and who's like, who the hell is this guy?
History being asymmetrical is always very interesting. Miguel, do you think there's any character who knows you better?
I think Pierce probably knows me a little better because he stayed behind with me, watched me analyze a problem and ascertain what has to be done. We probably would have had a little chat coming back too.
Cool. Nice. All right, cool.
So that brings
Pierce, go ahead and
get to 0.
Yes. Zeroed out.
Yeah. Savvyheads they have pretty low history scores because they're just so focused on stuff that they don't have time for people.
I'm being savvy.
They tend to be a little solitary.
Cool. They're kind of cool that way.
Pierce is drawn to the weird ones.
And lastly, Smokey. Is there anybody who knows you better? I'd argue, you definitely laid down some of the law in your establishment there.
Yes, you did.
I would almost say, like, in that fight, you and I kind of just stayed back together. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say if we're picking Smokies, then I would say it's probably Trout.
Okay. All right, Trout, go ahead and add.
The opening scene and the battle, we both kind of a lot going on.
That'll bring me to a 4.
Oh, nice. Ooh, we got experience.
Then we'll reset you to 0 and mark experience.
Yeah.
All right. Did anybody reach 5 experience today?
No, I have 4. Does it stay? Does it go? Do you need to get all? Okay. It doesn't go away at the reset for the session. It just keeps building. Okay.
Yeah,
it keeps building up. That's our experience points.
Nice. All right. So then we remove our highlights because next time we'll get different ones, right?
The next time we will ask if we'd like to move our highlights. We can if we'd like. We don't have to. So leave them on for now. We'll address that at the start of next session.
Nice.
All right.
Interesting.
Is that all you got for us today, Erik?
All right. Well, that was the end of our session. That was our session end move. And we'll begin next time chasing after the culprit to who left this wire wide open.
It's very different. It took a little bit, for us to kind of get in the swing of what this was. So maybe a little clunkier start. But I think if you're probably starting this game, it might be. Plus we had this kind of
New
very
games always like that.
yeah. Plus having this weird
It can be a
cloud
slow
was the-
starter.
yeah.
Yeah, treating it like a disease sort of thing made sense, and that you're sort of holding your ground against its onset. That was cool. It was a good use of the.
I hear you on the confusing metric for success in what was being treated as a battle.
Yeah.
So I think next time, if I have something that isn't quite as clear cut, I'll try to still give it traditional harm rules so that we can stick to those mechanics.
I'm definitely a big fan though of this like kind of like collaborative like, hey, I want you to do some manipulation this turn.
Of course you are,
know?
Mr.
I know that's not your thing. You know,
you are.
I just think it's interesting. You're trying to like push people into doing things maybe their character isn't normally supposed to do. So that's fun.
You'll find that a lot of this game is built to self-propel role playing. It's really cool how
Seems
it
like
works.
it. Yeah, a
That's
lot
cool.
of like points for interaction, basically.
All right, well, let's wrap it up so everyone can get going home. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you next week for session 2 of this really new and interesting and different game for us. Even though it's been around a long time, we haven't played it. So, all right, have a good night.
I like it. Let's go.
Right.
Good night, everyone.
Bye for now.